Hey Nuggets, welcome to the next episode of QuaranStream. This week, by special request from students, I have Ms. LaVine as our guest. Hi, Ms. LaVine.
Hello, Nugget family.
So let's get into this. So we're recording this on Wednesday, April 22nd, which is the first day that feels like spring in like forever. On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being horrible, worst day ever, 10 being best day ever, how would you rate your day today?
Well, today I'm feeling pretty good. Like you said, the sun is out, so I've been trying to get outside at least once an hour. My kids haven't murdered each other yet today, so I haven't had to deal with that yet. It's only one. I got that going for me.
Also, please notice, Nuggets, that Ms. LaVine is in her vehicle, so she can be in the sunshine somewhere on the streets of Hawley. She is not driving, so we are doing this safely. For you, what has been the hardest part about distance learning and this physical distancing from other people?
Definitely the social interaction with students. I mean, the joking at the beginning of the hour, end of the hour, the back and forth. I mean, just it doesn't feel like real life, it's kind of this weird, like filing my taxes kind of, doing stuff online. I've been really enjoying the video making process, not because I'm good at it, but because I'm learning a lot, stuff I should have already known. And I get to work with my husband a lot more, which is really fun. And Billy has been, doing some things too with the videos, and that's been fun. But I'm an introvert. I mean, I appreciate time alone and being home. I'm a homebody. I love that too. But even as an introvert and a homebody, I definitely miss the interaction every day.
Yes, I know. My prevailing frustration today is that I am so sick of my computer. I'm so tired of looking at it, but I have nothing to do that doesn't involve sitting in front of my computer. And I am just so sick of it. I need human interaction, because if I was at work, I'd get up and walk around and find somebody to talk to, or just stretch my legs, and I just don't have that here. I thought maybe I could walk up and down the streets of Hawley, and then the children would come out and just find me and talk to me, and then I realized that was totally irrational, and I just went back to my computer work. So we keep fighting the battle. What do you think has been the best part of this whole kind of experiment of online learning and being at home? Because it hasn't all been bad.
No, at the very beginning, I was talking to my sister-in-law. She teaches up north, and we have completely different kids, different school districts that we work with, but we both have the same frustration that I've shared with my students about just kind of the education system in general. And we both have this hope that like this changes things for the better, particularly the conversation about what is absolutely necessary to teach and learn and what is not necessary. Because if we all of a sudden were able to identify half of our curriculum that we could probably just do without for the rest of the year, then why was it there to begin with? It's kind of my thinking. Also, like kids and adults doing things throughout the day instead of like sitting and learning. It's so non-human in my mind, the way that we take a group of humans at the age that they are the most energetic and have them sit for most of the day. And that just seems so contrary to like human wisdom in my mind. So if this could produce some kind of change that way, I think that would be fantastic, where we spend more of our day, especially in high schools, interning and working and making things and like learning practical applications of stuff. I hope it has an impact that way.
Well, it will in your classroom, if nothing else, because you're figuring that out. I agree, because real life is not just filling out worksheets, with the exception of when you're filing your taxes. Everything else is interactive and problem solving and doing stuff. So we'll see how it goes. What are you feeling grateful for these days?
Well, a couple years ago, Chris and I renovated this house. We were in a 860 square foot house, all six of us and the dog. And now we're in a much bigger house because we were able to, buy something really, really cheap and fix it up ourselves. And I am so thankful for this space. I'm thankful for the time of year it is. If it was the middle of winter, that wouldn't be good. I don't know, maybe in the winter we'd be like less wanting to go out anyway. So maybe that doesn't make any sense. But I'm just grateful for how people help each other out. If we choose to focus on that, it's always amazing to see. And we saw that a lot this winter after Chris's car accident. Like, just people are so good. They're so helpful and they want to make sure that everybody in their community is doing okay. And I've seen, the generosity for other people who are in tough situations now from my community and from my church and stuff. And that's always really uplifting.
Yeah, there's always something good that comes through, even in the hard times. For you, what has been your most effective way of taking care of yourself? Because this is sort of stressful and challenging and totally uncharted. So how do you take care of you?
Yeah, I guess I kind of feel like I have an advantage that way inside of a disadvantage because I have dealt with a lot of mental health things in my life, just in general. Some anxiety, some depression, some kind of seasonal stuff. It's always worse in the winter. And I say advantage because then when stuff like this happens, I've got some tools that I already have kind of built up in my toolkit or whatever. And I have a girlfriend I was just talking to the other day who kind of deals with some of the same things. And we call it the list of stuff we can't mess with. So there's a list every day of stuff we can't mess with. Number one, I have to get enough water. And I know it sounds silly, like, water, really? You're doing this mom thing or grandma thing, telling me to drink water. Honestly, like, if I don't drink enough water, it messes with me. I have to, and I'm not like drinking empty gallon things full of water. Like, I drink 2 of these larger cups of water every day. That's my target. And if I don't do that, I am like not as happy as a person. The second thing, I have to get outside, even if it's just 20 minutes. I don't do that because I'm lazy. So I also have to build in other people who text me and ask me to go walking with them. So like Mrs. Swanson, Mr. Dave Swanson's wife, she's really good about forcing me to go outside and go for a walk. My friend Carrie Blakeway and we go for walks. Danny, my daughter, is really good about getting me outside, especially when people know, like, oh, okay, Briana, I need to call, make sure Briana's, and I have to tell that to people so that they call me and make sure that I'm doing that. So water, getting outside, I have to keep a schedule. If I don't make myself turn off my phone at a certain time at night, lay down in my bed and read an actual book, set my alarm, get up in the morning and do my morning stuff, I really start to tank mentally too if I don't make sure that I'm doing that. And it's not like I am great about it, but I notice when I don't. So those are the things I can't mess with: water, outside, exercise, and that routine. It's pretty basic. It's not like a hidden bank of information. It's just important stuff.
But I think that's what most kind of self-care is just taking care of the basic stuff, and just, for students especially, figuring out what they're like. I love the name of that don't mess with this stuff list. I've been hearing from a lot of kids that the schedule part is hard because it's so unstructured and everybody's had to kind of reinvent their schedule. So Nuggets, if that sounds like take it from the seasoned pro here from Ms. LaVine, that you got to figure that out. How can you tell when you're not okay? Whether it's that you're just mega stressed out, whether you're on the cusp of being super overwhelmed or burnt out, or whatever it looks like, when you reach that point that you know that you're not okay, and you really do need to kind of pull back in to take care of that basic stuff or talk or get help or whatever that is? How do you tell?
Yeah, there's a couple things that are like early red flags, and then they get brighter, and then they start on fire. So the first couple things that happen is I get a stomach ache, and I get tetchy with like the kids, and with like little things will bother me. And like a couple days ago, I hadn't exercised in, that was like the second or third day that I hadn't been outside because it was just so crappy out. And like 3 people in a row asked me a question about another person in the room. Like, what is Danny eating? And I just flipped out. Like, are you people are asking me questions about another person in the physical room. Why? That, Danny is right, and I just like flipped out. And that's another way that typically, if I can kind of take a step back and be like, okay, I wouldn't normally flip out that much about that. So yeah, I get a stomach ache, I flip out about stuff. um I just get really, really tired. Like anything is too much to do. To enter grades in JMC is like this colossal job that I just can't even wrap my head around doing. And then I start to, now at this point, after doing this for 37 years, I start to think like, oh, I totally flipped out on people. My stomach hurts. I don't feel good. And I can't motivate to do anything. Did I drink water today? Like, did I stay up too late last night? Have I been watching too much news? That's another thing that I can't mess with. Like, I can't let myself get too wrapped into that, or else I get, oh, yeah, that's how I notice.
Mhm. I had just a super off day yesterday, which happens sometimes, and I was so grouchy. Like I was not a pleasant human being to live with. And the stupid question thing that you were talking about was my entire day yesterday. So I finally figured out like about 8 o'clock at night, I need to talk to my sister because she just gets me. And so she told me just stupid, silly stories about her kids. And we just talked through a lot of stuff. And it was just kind of figuring out who was the person that I needed to talk to that day. Once I realized that I had been just kind of a rotten human being to my whole family. And after we had the conversation and I was just feeling better, I think everybody in my house went, "Oh, thank goodness you figured that out. Are you better now? Good. Do that again next time you need to." So I think it's hard though in the moment to be able to see, like to see the forest through the trees sometimes. So it's an
Yeah.
ongoing challenge. What's a tip you would give kids for how they can take care of themselves?
Well, yeah, a couple things. I would definitely say to have a playlist, a music playlist, like what songs reliably calm you down, what songs reliably get you kind of a hitch in your giddy up, like, all right, now I want to do something. What songs reliably get you up out of your chair and moving, or even in your chair. I would have I have like 4 different playlists, and it sounds kind of elementary, but it's an easy resource. It's right there on your phone, and that's super duper important. Um, the other thing is to build a system of people, which unfortunately for some of us, this involves some honesty that we don't necessarily want to participate in, but build a system of people around you, like you said with your sister, who you can call or text and say, um, I need to go for a walk, or tell me to make dinner. you know and it doesn't have to be a ton of people, but like 1 or 2 people who you think you can really trust, who will um help you out, and you can help them out, and try to keep each other in line.
Next one is a student question. Question is, how are you managing your time wisely so that you can get your work, which is your teaching, done?
I don't know that I would say that I'm managing my time wisely. I just spent 3 hours this morning making a hat for my Uncle Sam costume. So I don't know if that was necessarily going to give me a huge payoff. And the other thing, I will be completely honest with students, like I sympathize because I control how much work I have. I get to decide what I assign and how much work I want to, how many hours I want to spend grading and all that. And there's a significant amount of not choice involved in being a student. And I really sympathize with that. I mean, sometimes it comes down to just setting a timer on your phone or on the oven and saying, at 10 o'clock, I'm going to do this. And then I'm going to give myself, a half a bag of M&Ms as a reward. And then at noon, I'm going to do this. And then I'm going to go for a walk. I mean, it's not like, it's so hard. And sometimes like some days I can just feel in the morning, like, okay, I'm on today. This is going to be a good day to get stuff done. I need to maximize this day because tomorrow I might not be feeling it. And I think that that's the same for a lot of other people in my house. Like you can kind of gauge that feeling in the morning. You're like, I can't. Have I been doing my self-care stuff? It should be the first question and answer that comes up. But then like maybe it's just an off day and then okay, I'm glad that I got stuff done yesterday then because when I was feeling good. So
Yes, I agree. I think, like in adult life, it is such an artificial thing for kids to have to like do all these things because most jobs, that's not necessarily how it goes. You've got some freedom and some independence to do what you need to do. So sorry, kids, education has not figured out the best way to do it yet. Maybe after this, like you said, it'll get better. What is your advice, or what should kids do if they are struggling in your class? Or maybe any other class, but yours in particular, what should they do if they're having a hard time?
well, they should just send me an email. I mean, just say I'm struggling, I need more time, or I don't understand this assignment, or I really need to, like, this week I need to focus on biology and math. Can I come back to you next week and get caught up? I mean, it's just honesty. And most teachers are like that. Like, just be honest. Just say what you need help with. I mean, we're not trying to, for the most part, we're not like out to get kids. We just want to help and yeah, communicate.
Yes. All right. Last question. What do you want students to know?
Oh my gosh, we miss them so much. Like, genuinely, they need to know that teachers are not excited. Like, we're not like, yay, this is now we just got distance learning for the rest of the year. I think that they probably assume that elementary teachers are that way. Like, oh, I feel so bad for elementary teachers. Oh my gosh. Like, they talk about being upset. These people don't get to see their kids, and this is like the reason that they live. I feel so bad. But high school kids need to know, like, we are really missing them and their faces and their stories and their little like wrong answers that they write on tests with, sorry, I didn't know this answer. All this stuff that makes us laugh every day. It's like we went into this profession for a reason, and they need to know that we are missing. Even if they don't miss us back, that's all right. But we are definitely missing them every day.
Yeah, I would agree completely. And I haven't talked to a teacher yet that doesn't feel the same way. All right. Well, with that, anything else we missed or you wanted to cover?
I don't think so. I think that's good.
Okay. So thanks for joining us. It's always good to see you anyway. I look forward to seeing you in person again at some point. Nuggets, I will get another QuaranStream out to you next week. If you have any suggestions for who you want to see next, please fill out the form in Google Classroom. It's quick and easy, and I appreciate the suggestions. Would you like to say goodbye?
Bye, everybody. Love you. That's a heart. And then here's the other half. There you go.
See you, Nuggets. Take care of yourselves.